So what's up guys, and welcome to this video. In this video today we're learning about gradients, tangents and normals. So right now in this graph right here, as you can see, we have the tangent and we have the normal on this graph. If I just label it, so this is the tangent and then this would be the normal. And effectively what the tangent is the tangent to a curve is that point on the curve. It's like a straight line which kind of just touches that point on the curve, and at that point on the curve it has exactly the same gradient. Okay, so and the normal is just perpendicular to the tangent, so it has a perpendicular gradient to the tangent. So as you can see in this image here, we have the coordinates at A, and we have the tangent at A, and then as you see the normal, it's got a perpendicular gradient to the tangent A. So to work out the perpendicular gradient, we just need to do the negative reciprocal on that gradient. But it'll make more sense once we go over some examples, okay? So let's start with going over some examples. Okay, so for this question, we have the cubic equation of x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x minus 1. And we need to find out the equation of the tangent to the curve at the point 3, 5. Okay. So in order to work out the equation of the tangent, we know that the equation is going to be a straight line. So that means that we're going to have to use this formula at some point. You would have probably learned this at GCSE. You should have. So y take away y1 is equal to m times x take away x1. Now it is, you may have seen this in different variations, but essentially this is the equation. So what that means is we need to work out, so we need to know three values. We need to know our x, y, and our m value, okay? So we already know our x and our y value. We know that our x value is 3 and our y value is 5. But we need to work out our gradient, okay, our m value. So to work that out, what we need to do is we can differentiate. So if we differentiate our equation here, we can differentiate, and then if we substitute in our x value, that will give us our gradient. So in our last lesson, we looked at differentiation. So if I differentiate the y equals x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x minus 1, that would be dy over dx. And then that will give us 3x squared minus 6x plus 2. Okay? If you want to know more about differentiation, feel free to watch my video I did on differentiation. I'll put a link somewhere in this video. So now that we've got that, now what we need to do is we need to plug in our value. So if we plug that in, so that would be 3 times 3 squared minus 6 times 3 plus 2. So we plugged in our x value, and if we do that, 3 times 3 squared, that's 3 times 9, that's 27, minus 6 times 3 is 18, plus 2. Therefore, our gradient, our m value, is 11. So now that we've worked that out, if I scroll down, we've now worked out that our x value is 3, our y value is 5, and our m value is 11. So now we can use this formula here, y take away y1 is equal to m times x take away x1, and that will give us our equation. So if I do that down here, then that will be y take away 5 is equal to 11 times x take away our x value, which is 3. And if we work that out, that'll be y take away 5 is equal to 11x minus 33. I'm going to scroll down. And then if we just bring the 5 over to the other side, we'll be left with y is equal to 11x minus 28. Okay, so now we know that the equation of the tangent at the point 3, 5 of this cubic graph, we know that the equation is y is equal to 11x minus 28. So for this question, we need to work out the equation of the normal to the curve. So the curve has equation y is equal to 8 minus 3 root x. We are told that x is equal to 4. Okay, and we need to work out the equation of the normal. So what that means is if we find out what the gradient is, then we need to change it and make it into the perpendicular gradient, okay? So first things first, what do we need to do? Well, again, we want to work out the equation of the line. So I'll just write the equation of the line here. Again, so y take away y1 is equal to m times x take away x1. Okay, in this case, however, it wouldn't be m though this time. It would actually be, I'm going to rewrite that as n. Now the reason for that is just to signify that it's the perpendicular gradient we want. It's the normal gradient. If we work out just the normal gradient, oh, okay, I don't want to say normal because normal can get confused with the other normal, but if we just work out m, the gradient, then we want to work out the perpendicular gradient. So I'll replace that with n for this. But essentially, what we need to do is we need to work out our y value, our m value, and then once we work out our m value, our m gradient, then we can work out the perpendicular gradient, which we want the n value. So first things first, let's work out the y value, okay? So to work out the y value, it's very simple. All we do is we just substitute in x in our equation up here. So y is equal to 3 times the square root of 4. And if we work that out, we get 8 minus 3. Square root of 4 is 2. So it'll be 8 minus 3 times 2, and that will be 2. Remember BIDMAS, remember do your multiplication first before your subtraction. So now that we've done that, we know that y is equal to 2. Okay, so now we need to work out our m value, okay? If we work out the gradient, then we can work out the perpendicular gradient. So first things first, I'm just going to rewrite our equation at the top. I'm going to rewrite it differently. So instead of 8 minus 3 root x, I'm going to write it as 8 minus 3x to the power of a half. The reason for that is that it becomes a lot easier now when we want to differentiate. So if I differentiate this now, because we need to differentiate in order to work out our gradient, then we have dy over dx is equal to minus 3 over 2, because 3 times a half, so that'll be minus 3 over 2 x minus a half, okay? And now we put in our x value, so our x value, I'll go back up top, was 4. So therefore we know that our m value would be minus 3 over 2, 4 to the power of a half. Now I'll just rewrite this to make it easier for us to understand. That is minus 3 over 2 times the square root of 4, okay? And if we work that out, we'll get minus 3, that'll be minus 3 over 2 times 2, which is minus 3 over 4. So what does that mean? That means our m value is minus 3 over 4. However, we want the normal to the curve, not the tangent. So therefore, what we need to do is we need to do the negative reciprocal. So the negative reciprocal, all you need to do is flip the fraction, so do the reciprocal of the fraction and just change the sign. So in this case, we have a minus, which means that n, which is the perpendicular gradient, would just be positive 4 over 3. If you don't know what the negative reciprocal is, or you just can't see it, or you're a bit confused, then simply just do minus 1 divided by whatever the number is you want to do the negative reciprocal on, and then that will give you your answer. But all you need to do is just flip the fraction and then just change the sign. Okay, so now we've got our x value, our y value, and our n value. Now we can just put that into the equation. So y take away 2 is equal to 4 over 3. X take away 4. So that will be y take away 2 is equal to 4 over 3x minus 16 over 3. And then if we just bring the 2 over to the other side, let's do it down here. That'll be y is equal to 4 over 3x minus 16 over 3. And then because we are going to change that into a fraction over 3, so plus 6 over 3. And then if we simplify that down, we get this. We get this value here. We get y is equal to 4 over 3x minus 10 over 3. Now it is up to you whether you can times everything by 3 if you don't want fractions, or you can leave it like this. It depends on what the question wants. But ideally, you can just leave it like this. So we know that the normal to the curve at y is equal to 8 minus 3x at the point where x is equal to 4. We know that the equation of the normal is y is equal to 4 over 3x minus 10 over 3. Okay, so that is where we'll end this video today. I don't want to be too long, but in our next video we will go over some more of these questions. I'll go over 2 more questions for you. I'll get an exam style question in there as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon.